Audi has sold well over 1 million Q3s since the first one went on sale in 2012, and so the arrival of this all-new model is big news indeed. About as big, in fact, as this grille. That's particularly so given that in the intervening years so many new Q3 competitors have been launched, revised or replaced. Owners of the previous Q3 will tell you that its interior was on the compact side, and that's something that Audi has really attempted to address with this new model. It's a larger car, it's actually based on the latest Volkswagen Tiguan platform, and it features Audi's full suite of angle-tastic design language. In fact, the change is so big that Audi has gone from basically being bottom of the pile for load space to being best in class. You could easily get a baby buggy in there and have room to spare, for example, which wasn't necessarily the case with the old one. And another neat touch, if you're prepared to pretty much take your Q3 apart, you can also store the parcel shelf neatly away underneath this dual height boot floor, which I guess, if you can make it work, which I can't, I can, I've done it, is useful, I think. If you need more space still, you can slide the rear seats forward or fold them down completely. Passengers should be happy too. Look, I've got lots of legroom when the seat's all the way back, and although I wouldn't want it all the way forwards, this driver's seat being set for me, 5'11" to give you an idea, I would quite happily move it forward a notch or two, and that creates a little bit more boot space. Plus, it's useful to be able to adjust the angle of the backrest. Anybody sitting in the middle seat might find it a touch narrow, although kids will be fine. And the other nice practical touch for families is that these Isofix bars are very easy to access. Then there's the interior design. Cast your mind back to the previous Q3 and its interior had really started to date compared with Audi's more recent offerings, and that is certainly not something you can say about this thing, because everything about this interior I think is outstanding, from the materials here, nice bit of Alcantara and metal, through to the big screens and the fact that everything is gently angled towards the driver. All Q3s now come with a digital dial display, or what Audi calls its virtual cockpit, as standard. Here we've got the larger of the two available options, and as far as I'm concerned, this is the best digital dial display on the market today. It's not just that the graphics are really clear and crisp, but functionality is superb. The same can largely be said of the centrally mounted touchscreen, which includes Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I do have one complaint, however, which is that Audi has done away with the rotary controller for its infotainment system, which for my money was always a much easier way of controlling things on the move than having to prod away whilst trying to drive. Speaking of which, let's see what this Q3 is like on the move. Audi offers the Q3 with a range of petrol and diesel engines, starting with a 1.5 litre turbo petrol. The car we're testing today is actually a 2 litre turbo petrol, and it's badged as the 45 TFSI Quattro. It's actually the most powerful Q3 you can currently buy. With 230 horsepower, in fact, it's enough to get you from 0 to 62 miles an hour in just 6.3 seconds. This then is a family SUV with the pace of a hot hatch. That is not to say, however, that the Q3 is as much fun to drive as a hot hatch, because its repertoire is more about grip and go than it is about an involving driving experience. And even with the drive select mode set to dynamic and flicking the gear lever over to take control of the 7-speed dual clutch automatic using these paddles instead, it all just feels a bit remote. And this steering, even in dynamic mode, is just far too light, even if it is quite pointy. Better then to relax, reduce your speed and take advantage of what is an incredibly refined driving experience. Ride comfort is excellent, and insulation from wind, road and engine noise is first rate too. In that sense, this most potent of Q3s is more like a junior version of a luxury SUV than it is anything sporty. Mind you, with the 45 TFSI Quattro costing the best part of £38,000, you'd expect something fairly luxurious, wouldn't you? And that doesn't include options like adaptive dampers or this panoramic roof either, nor does it include this rather lovely turbo blue paint, which I think we can all agree makes a nice change. The fact that the Q3 is not the most fun SUV to drive should be considered as an observation rather than a complaint, because what we have here is a vehicle that is competent, comfortable, quiet, spacious, trendy and high tech, which will no doubt be enough for customers to want to help Audi add a few more sales to the Q3's tally. If you've enjoyed this review, please do remember to hit the like button, as well as to check out the CarGurus UK YouTube channel for plenty more new and used car content. And to find a great deal from a top rated dealer on your next car, head to cargurus.co.uk.